Do you trust yourself? How can you build trust in yourself? That's what this episode is about. You're listening to Pure Light, where we explore how to become the highest version of yourself so that you feel worthy of your craziest dreams and confident in your power to make them happen. My name is Ailey. I'm a coach and a Kundalini yoga and meditation teacher. And this is episode 50. So in this episode, I'll share with you 3 ways to tell if you trust yourself that you can also use to build that trust within yourself if that's something that's a challenge for you. Self-trust is very important. It's the foundation of the relationship you have with yourself. So it's what allows you to take risks and step outside your comfort zone. It's what allows you to be kind to yourself and to respect yourself, even when you screw up. It's what allows you to know that you have your own back and that you'll be able to take care of yourself. And it's also what allows you to do the things that you need to do to get where you want to go. So self-trust is knowing that you're making the right decision for you. And it's doing what's best for you. And it's knowing that no matter how things turn out, you will be okay. So it's very important. So here are 3 questions that you can ask yourself to see how much you trust yourself. And if your answer to any of these questions is no, that's not a problem. It's just an opportunity to strengthen the level of trust you have in yourself by choosing to make different decisions going forward. Okay, so the first question to ask yourself to see if you trust yourself is, are you decisive? So there was a time in my life when I was about 26 years old where I felt like I was stuck, and I would actually describe it as a state of perpetual indecision because there were things that I wanted, but I never really did anything about them. So I never really committed to going after them. I was just kind of like going through the motions of my day-to-day life, and it didn't really feel like I was moving forward. So if you can relate to that, then it's possible that indecision is a challenge for you. And this is an area of opportunity for you to build more trust in yourself. Because I know for me, my problem was that I was not willing to make decisions. Because when you make decisions, it means that you're eliminating some possibilities. Because when you go in the direction you want to go, it means that you're not going in another direction. So like, for example, if you want to go north, it means that you're not going south. And actually, Debbie Ford had a quote about this. She said, "You can't be traveling east and west at the same time. You must choose your path." So you can strengthen your trust in yourself by being more decisive and choosing your path. So whenever you catch yourself avoiding a decision, ask yourself, what is this really about? What am I scared of here? And what is making me want to avoid this and making this decision? Because whenever you catch yourself avoiding a decision, you can use that as an opportunity to make a decision about what to do next. And start with small things or things that are pretty low risk, like what to eat for lunch or, really kind of, small things throughout your day-to-day life. Because the more that you practice being decisive, the more comfortable you'll be when it comes to making big decisions. Okay. And then the second question to ask yourself to see if you trust yourself is, do you listen to your inner guidance? So you may call this different things. You may call it like your gut reaction or what your heart says. You may also call it your intuition or your inner wisdom. But ultimately, it's that voice inside you that has a sense of knowing beyond what you can see and beyond what you can perceive in the world. That's the voice that makes you uniquely you. And it's a voice that separates you from everyone else because it tells you what's best for you, even though that may not align with what other people are doing or what other people want for you. So the question is, when that voice speaks to you, when you get those intuitive hits or those gut feelings, do you listen to them? Do you use that information to help you make your decisions? Or do you let things get in the way, or do you talk yourself out of it? Because a lot of things can get in the way. There's a lot of noise out there, and it's really easy to talk yourself out of listening to that inner voice. And that's something that I actually talked about in the last episode. So you can find that at purelightpodcast.com. It's episode 49. And if you don't listen to that voice of inner knowing and get caught up in the noise or in other people's opinions or what everyone else is doing. That's a huge opportunity to build a new level of trust in yourself. Because when you act as if you're truly your own highest authority, and when you really believe that you know what's best for you, you'll naturally listen to your intuition. And that'll help a lot with decision making too. So, the last question is, do you allow yourself to make mistakes? Do you give yourself permission to try? Do you give yourself permission to fail? Or do you try to prevent failure in any way, shape, or form? One way that we try to prevent failure is by waiting for things to be perfect, or by overthinking about things and then getting stuck in that state of perpetual indecision that I talked about earlier. For example, if you procrastinate or if you're a perfectionist, then that totally applies to you. If you don't allow yourself to make mistakes, it's a way of trying to protect yourself from failure, which means that you don't trust that you can handle what might happen if things go wrong or if things don't go well. So it's basically saying that you don't trust your future self, which means that you don't trust yourself now either. And allowing yourself to make mistakes will help you build trust in yourself. So giving yourself that permission for things to not be okay, so that you can discover that you will be okay no matter what. Your power comes from the decision-making authority that you have over your own life. And if you are not using it, or if you're deferring it to other people, it's a sign that you don't trust yourself. And you can tell how much you trust yourself based on your willingness to make decisions, your willingness to act on your inner wisdom, and your willingness to make mistakes. So you can use any of these to build trust in yourself. You can strengthen that trust in yourself by making more decisions, by listening to your intuition, and by giving yourself permission to make mistakes. And if that sounds scary because you don't want to make mistakes or because you're scared of failure, I'll talk more about failure in the next episode to help you get a new perspective on that. To make sure you don't miss it, subscribe to Pure Light wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you want some help building trust in yourself, I can help you with that too through coaching and Kundalini Yoga. Book a free discovery call at eilikutan.com to see how we can work together. That's AILIKUUTAN.com. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, may you be guided by your light.